What it do, homies? We are here with a donation request. This time we are checking out some more Utsu-P, Ga or Moth, as it stated in the comment section of that donation. I did find a video with the English subtitles. I did try to look at one of these videos with the English translation off to the side, and the experience wasn't really all that good. So we have it here on the lyrics, so we can kind of all keep everything centered. Let's go shut up and turn it up. Oh, Gorgon. That was the last song that I listened to. I still, bro, the amount of times I have shared, it was Gorgon, right? The amount of times I have shared, I'm pretty sure it was Gorgon that I listened to. The amount of times that I have shared that last part, Gorgon, yeah, that breakdown, that tuning, absolutely crazy. I wonder if we go get something of the same. All right, now let's shut up and turn it up. You are blind. You're blind. You blind, have no blood. You're blind. You have no blood. Just consume, soon. Just consume, soon. Like you just always consuming. Anyways, always consuming. And then we go back to what it said there at the beginning, where it says you didn't know what you were doing. You know, you didn't know that I was a moth. You kind of just went in and you just started opening, but you probably should be aware. Also, there seemed to be a couple of more lyrics around here that was kind of more saying, hey, you know, you don't know what's going on. You don't know what you're dealing with me, but also I'm going to talk a little bit more about myself. Meanwhile, I just have the pride of the number of us drawn into a flame. The pride, I mean, that means the pride is that means the pride is pretty low, right? Not a lot of pride getting drawn into the flame, right? So easily destructible, light a flame. There you go. Antenna dangle. I know that I'm every root leads up my cocoon. What are we talking about here, right? Rudely opening up my cocoon, inviting yourself into personal space. Is that what we're talking about here? You would think that you're more in control of that, right? Inviting people in. But in order for somebody to rudely open up your cocoon, you have to be unaware of it first, right? Something that you can't see from the outside. Blinded, blindsided. This is about being blindsided, because that's what moths are in their cocoon. They don't know what's happening, otherwise they move out the way. They're being blindsided by somebody who always consumes and Let's get through the rest of this. Okay, he's kind of moving fast. Like, obviously the song is at the pace of, you know, this is Japanese, right? In Japanese, so you know the English ain't the pacing of this. I'm trying to read through it. Okay. But how you dare to be happy in spite of being a moth? That's offensive. Even though you have the pride of moving into the flames and you're I wouldn't necessarily say your life is nothing, but you know, I would say kind of like insignificant. How dare you be happy? How dare you amount to something when you're like this small? How dare you dream, right? That's like some destructive upbringing. You know what I mean? Like when you're a child and then you have these dreams and somebody comes along and just starts destroying and pretty much just crapping on all of you because they're like, you're just this, you're just that. You You can't be anything else, right? Look at this. Look at other people that's like you. They've went and they tried to do something similar, and kind of like the moth to the flame, they didn't get anywhere. You know what I mean? And they kind of cut from the same cloth. So what makes you think you're going to do it? People say after watching me hatch into a highlight clip and being shaken to the core, live modestly to a highlight clip. People say after watching me hatch into a highlight clip and being shaken to the core, being hatched, being born again, not necessarily being. It says into a highlight clip, like a viral of a viral kind of take. Maybe that moment, or like a moment of brilliance, not necessarily viral, but it's like a moment of brilliance between two people. Could be like a highlight clip, and then being shaken to the core. Again, it all kind of sounds like being blindsided, right? Watch me hatch into a highlight clip and I'm being shaken to the core. These are going fast. Or at least more than me. This is the second song that I've heard, right? Utsu-P, and the tuning. You know, I often forget that this is Vocaloid. That's crazy. And you know what? Honestly, I feel like it's getting to the point to where I'm not even going to know anymore. I'm not even going to care. You know, at first I had to keep reminding myself, you know, because I'm still new to this. I had to keep reminding myself, like, wow, this is all Vocaloid. This is absolutely amazing. And the reason people say that it doesn't matter, the reason why I feel like it should matter is because that also takes skill. So I don't want to forget that fact that this is synth, like, because I feel like if I forget it, I'm like kind of just not acknowledging all the hard work they took to put into this tuning. I haven't heard what it sounds like to have bad tuning for Vocaloid. I feel like that's the next thing I should look in. I just looked up the meaning before the meaning of this, and it says it compares the inferior moth to the superior butterfly. Are butterflies superior? The song challenges narrow standards of beauty and embraces diversity and individuality. Okay. That gives me a little bit more, not a little bit more, it gives me a whole lot more context. I don't know where I was going. I could piece it together, but okay. Okay. And a lot of it might be just because of my ability to try to sit here and process what I'm looking at, music, visuals, audio, and everything. That was interesting. The difference between the rank of insects. Is that what popped up right there that said a brand name? A brand name. See, I missed this, right? A brand name, right? What's the difference between these two pair of sweatpants, right? You slap a Nike logo or something on it. Now that one's worth so much more money. The amount of value that we put into these things, these labels, these, you know what I mean? No, man, you know, we got some moths that kind of just like to chill out on the window because, you know, when we put on our kitchen light, got like a little window up top, and obviously they can't get in, but they see the light, so they keep drawn to it and everything. I see them that all the time. I don't know, right? You just see, you talk about all the bad things about being a moth, and you saying, do you want to be a moth? It's almost as like I'm on a vengeance kind of tear, right? To attack all the people who want to be. There's movies made about that. Shoot. Right, an attack on the popular, attack on the beautiful and everything to bring them back down to our standards or whatnot. But this is told with a little bit. I wouldn't even say a little bit. I would say it was told with a dark, right? Don't you want to be a moth? You got this right here. If I see somebody telling me that, I'm thinking, you trying to you try to come for me in a violent way and everything. But I think it's more of a don't you want to be a moth? Like, don't you want to be equal, right? Especially since I have the context of what this is about, challenging the narrow standards of beauty and embrace diversity. Like, don't you want me to be on the same level? Don't you want to come down here? Like, aren't you tired of that separation? That's what I get. Right. When I said, don't you want to be a moth, right? Don't you want to be more inclusive? Don't you want to be diverse? But I digress. You let me know what y'all thought about this down in the comments. Dave's out.